Hi, welcome back. I'm Hannah, and if you haven't seen my videos yet, I'm doing an apprenticeship in hairdressing, and every week I'm trying to do a video to show you and tell you what I've been up to each week in my apprenticeship. So I've just literally come back from college today. Today is a Monday, and I always have college on a Monday. And I was going to tell you what we'd learnt today, and I'm also going to show you in today's video one of the blow dries that we were practicing today. So today we did, first of all, our first lesson was practical, where we did a blow dry using a Denman brush, which is a plastic brush, which I haven't got with me at the moment, but I'll show you later on in the video. And we literally had to just blow dry with that, put a bit of root lift in, curl under the ends, and then after we'd done that we had to put in some hot rollers and just to give it a little bit more lift, or you could give it a curl, whatever you wanted to do. So I will show you that in the video too. So what we did as well, after we'd done that, we did a little bit of theory, and they just sort of started to go through the structure of the hair, the cuticle, the cortex, the medulla. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Just basically telling us what each thing is, what it does. You've got the cuticle, which is the outside layer of the hair, and the cuticle is see-through, so you can't actually see it. What you can actually see is the cortex, which is underneath, and the cortex is the part that determines the colour of your hair, and also it determines if you've got curly hair, if you've got straight hair, all that sort of thing. That's all in the cortex. And then you've got this other bit, which is further in and smaller. It's called the medulla, which I think I'm saying right. Not everybody has this in their hair. We don't actually know if it does anything. They don't really know what the reason for it being there is. Some people it's in, some people it's not. It just depends. So that was that. That's what we learned. We learned about shampooing actually opens the cuticle. Wetting the hair with warm water and putting shampoo on it, that will open up the cuticle and allow it will allow the shampoo to penetrate into the cortex and to get out all the dirt and just disgusting stuff and clean it all out. But you have to make sure that you rinse out your shampoo properly, because otherwise you're going to end up with loads of dirt on your scalp and everything. So you have to make sure you rinse all of that shampoo out. Okay, so we also learnt that chemical treatments will lift the cuticle open. The way they sort of described it is it's like your cuticle's like scales, and we've got about 7 to 10 layers of these scales on our individual strands of hair. And if you use hot water on your hair, or warm or hot water, warm water is better, then you will open up the cuticle, yeah? But if you put cold water on it, then you will close the cuticle. That's why they say sometimes that if you shampoo and condition your hair and then you put like a rinse of cold water at the end of your conditioner, it makes your hair shiny. The reason why that is because it closes the cuticle better if you've got cold water. So there's a little tip for you that I learned today. The cortex gives the hair the strength and the elasticity, and also, like I said before, it determines the texture, whether it be curly, straight, or whatever colour your hair is. You've got 3 different types of hair. So you've got Asian, Afro type, and Caucasian or European. So that is 3 types, but the Caucasian and European one are basically the same. And Asian hair is more resistant than the Afro or the Caucasian hair. So it's harder to curl it, to perm it. It's got a lot more cuticle layers on it, and so it's harder to penetrate into the hair. The pH scale. So if you don't want to know about all of this theory stuff, then you're more than welcome to forward on the video a little bit until I get to the actual practical part. But I thought I might as well tell you what we learned. So we learned about the pH scale and how the hair, basically where the hair is on it. So if you're not familiar with the pH scale, you've got from 0 to 14, and then 7 is in the middle, that's neutral. So your hair sits at about, I think they said 4.5 to 5.5. That's where hair is on the pH scale. So it's actually quite acidic. So you've got acidic is 0 to 7, and then alkaline is like 7 to 14 as such, but 7 is neutral. So most shampoos, I think they say if they're like pH balanced, they'd be like about 5.5. So this is actually quite interesting when you think about like hair colours and bleaches and things. So bleaches, I think they said, were about on the 10 to 11 on the pH scale, so they're really alkaline, whereas like shampoos and things like that are more on the acidic part, yeah, like 4.5 to 5.5. We learned a little bit about the hair, as in, I know we learned about the hair, that's what we've been talking about. So normal hair should be smooth and shiny. Dry hair will feel dry and just look a bit dull. If you've got dandruff, there might be loose white or yellow flakes in the hair. And they said don't confuse dandruff with dry hair. Sometimes people don't wash their hair properly and they'll still leave like shampoo in their hair, and that's normally white. Whereas if you've got dandruff, it's more like a yellowy sort of colour, and sometimes it can smell as well with dandruff. And then you've got damaged hair, and damaged hair will feel rough and dry, and it could have some white bobbles in it as well. My hair is a bit damaged. It's getting better, to be fair, than what it was, but if I feel my hair, from the top here is really smooth, and then down here it starts to go rough, and that's when my hair's been damaged from the bleach. And then you've got oily, which just looks greasy, and it separates into small strands as well. So you can normally tell people who've got oily hair because it will literally like just start to separate from itself. So we learned about that. Oh, an alkaline as well is permin is an alkaline, and I said that bleach was. A normal tint that you put on your hair, that's on about an 8 to a 10.5. Oh, and a semi-permanent is about 5.5. So semi-permanents are really not damaging for the hair at all, because the hair is 4.5 to 5.5. That means that a semi-permanent colour doesn't damage your hair at all. It doesn't actually penetrate into the cortex of the hair. What it is because things need to be more alkaline to open up the cuticle. So with the semi-permanent, I'm really rubbish at explaining things. With the semi-permanent, it's not opening up the cuticle, it's literally just laying on top of it. That's why it's not damaging on the hair. It doesn't actually go into the cortex. So we learned about conditioners. So you've got surface conditioner. This surface conditioner, I can't even say it right. Surface conditioner is what's used mostly in the salon. And this is about a 5 to a 5.5. And that will just basically close the cuticle when you use that conditioner. Then you've got the penetrating or the masks. These are more intensive, and you use these after you do a bleach or a perm on somebody. This goes into the cortex and it adds more nutrients, and it also closes the cuticle. So they're just a little bit more intense, yeah? And then you've got a reconstructor, which this repairs the hair. This is more for like, say you bleach somebody's hair and it's gone really bad, like it's literally about to fall out. This is what the teacher said to us. Basically, if it's about to fall out, it's looking really, really bad, you would put a reconstructor on it, and a reconstructor repairs the hair, and it's on about a 2.5 on the pH scale, so it's really acidic. But that sort of thing is only really going to be used in the salon. You wouldn't be able to buy that sort of thing in the shop, because yeah, it's quite dangerous as an acid, basically. And you can also get keratin shampoos and conditioners, which will also repair the hair, because keratin is a protein, and protein will help to rebuild the hair structure. That is what I've had in my hair, because we use Redkin at work, and I've got the shampoo and the conditioner, and mine, I'll show you which one it is actually. It's called Extreme. This isn't the shampoo, but this is the anti-snap, and this is like a leave-in treatment for distressed hair. But I've also got the shampoo and conditioner for that, and that's like literally like 80% protein, so it's literally going to build up my hair back to hopefully its normal state by putting loads of protein in it. So that's what that looks like. So if you have got damaged hair, this is a really good stuff to put on it. Let's get on to the blow drying. Okay, so I'm already going to say sorry about the camera angles. I will try and change it around a bit so you can see what I'm doing. So what I've done already is I've just washed the doll's head, and I put a little bit of conditioner in, and I did the cold wash at the end just so it would help to close the cuticle. And all I'm going to do first of all is I'm just going to give it a brush, well not a brush, a comb, sorry, with the wide tooth comb. just to get out, you know, as many knots as possible. These like doll heads are really rubbish. They get really knotty easily and the head doesn't look so great, to be honest. But it's something to work on, so I shouldn't really moan. Today we were told to brush it down and then put it into 4, but that meant that we weren't doing any rough drying, and at work we always rough dry it first. So I'm going to literally rough dry and then going to put it into the sections. I've rough dried it and now I'm going to put it into sections. So it's literally pretty much in the middle part in. So I'm going to use my comb and I'm going to section it. I'm just going to put it into 4 because that's what we had to do today. So it's not going to be perfect, but smooth that. So I don't know how well you can see that. Let's have a look. Not brilliantly. Let's just hold that there. So you can see I've literally come all the way down with that section. Then what I'm going to do, because we're going to do it into 4, which is called a hot cross bun, I'm going to go from basically, I think it's called the crown, from about there, and bring it to the back of the ear. And then I'm going to wind this up. Really wind it up like this. I hope you can see what I'm doing. And then just place your clip in there. Hopefully that'll stay. And then do the same on the other side. So I might bring the camera around so you can see what I've done there. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side. Brush it through. And they told me a good tip today actually. Use the small piece of the comb and brush it away from that section of hair, and that will mean that you don't get your brush caught in it. If you do it quite tight, then you shouldn't, like, you know, keep getting your brush in that section of hair. So we've got that there. Obviously I've not pinned these ones back, and you've got that section there. Sorry about the camera angles a bit pants. But hopefully you can see how that looks. That's into 4. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to section off the hair for blow drying. So I'm going to use this clip here, and I'm going to start from the centre and come down a bit like a diagonal, and then bring that like that. So hopefully you can see it a bit better if you're up front. And then I'm going to come in at this side and sort of meet it up in the middle. It's not perfect, but basically that is what you're aiming for. So you've got that section there, and that's going to be your first section that you're going to blow dry. So you're basically going to go from the middle, alright? So you're going to take a middle section and, oh, it's all wet on the stand. Oh, where the hair's been dripping. Okay, so you're going to get your middle bit. Another thing you can do is you can ask your model to put their head forward a little bit when you're at this bit, because that will help to be able to get to that section. to make you watch the whole lot because you'll be really bored. But I'm going to go up to about just behind the ear, and then I will show you what to do next. So I'm going to try and show you this next sectioning that I'm doing. I think I might try and do one more before I do my horseshoe. So I'm going to go along there. So I'm still doing the same as what I've been doing on the first one. So I'm there, and one over this side. Sometimes it doesn't match up properly. Sometimes it's a little bit messy and you have to tidy it up. There we go. Okay, so now that you've done all the way up to here, you're going to do a horseshoe section, which I will show you and hope that you'll be able to see it properly. It's literally what it means. It is a horseshoe. So you start from the back and you're going to take a section of hair and you're going to go all the way around to the front. I will show you in better detail in a second. So this is that side. Let's show you how that's meant to look. So that's that side, and then I'm going to go around and do it also. Sorry, really bad at camera angle in there. I'm going to go around and do it on the other side. It's always harder, I think, to do it on this side. I don't know why. I've got to try and suppose match it up, which is not always easy. Let's try that. That's pretty much. I mean, for blow drying it doesn't have to be completely perfect, but obviously if you were going to be doing cutting and these, it needs to be perfect. So I'm just going to wrap those up out of the way, and that is basically your horseshoe section going round there. So now I'm going to start drying the rest of the hair. Okay, so my partner's taken over now, so you can see a little bit better. It was really hard doing it with just a tripod and myself. But this is basically what it is. It's got a little bit of volume in it, and it's got a bit of a curl to the end. I hope you could see what I was doing, and I hope that helps you out when you're trying to learn how to do it. And any questions, just let me know, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.